meeting to order here on Tuesday, May 17th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. If y'all will stand for invocation and pledge of allegiance, and Brother Anderson will be leading us.
Can I ask before I pray? Now, are we in Hendersonville? Or is
Did I say Hendersonville?
You did.
Why do I always?
Millersville.
Oh.
Okay, just want to be sure. Because I love
I didn't think
Hendersonville,
that should either.
but we're in Millersville. Father, we're thankful we're in Millersville tonight. We're thankful for the privilege. Lord, help us to pause for a moment and think. What a privilege it is to be in this place this evening as citizens, as leaders, to gather together, to share the city's business, to involve ourselves in the city's business, and to participate. God, what a blessing. May we never cease to give you thanks and praise for that. Help us to do our best for your glory. Give wisdom to these leaders, wisdom to our citizens. Give us a great meeting, and may much be accomplished. May it all honor you, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Brother Anderson, I do apologize for saying Hendersonville. I am a 17-year resident of Millersville. But anyway, moving on, I'd like a motion to accept this agenda for the way it appears, or any changes that are necessary to make it. And I think we have one small change.
Yeah, the agenda needs to be changed. Trying to bring it up.
From April the 17th.
April the 17th to April 19th. It's item number 3, approval of the minutes of April 19th, 2022, regular commission meeting. Currently reads April 17th, so if we could change that to April 19th. Do I hear a motion for that?
I make a motion to approval of minutes for April the 19th, 2022, regular commissioner meeting.
Second.
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 Okay. Now let's go back to the original motion. The original motion was to accept the agenda with that change. Do I hear a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion to accept the agenda.
And, do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That's item number 4, approval of the April 2022 financial report. Do I hear a motion to approve the April 22 financial report?
Yeah, I make the motion to approve April 2022 financial report.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay. Call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Item number 5, first reading of ordinance 22-777, which is an ordinance to adopt the annual budget and property tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Do I hear a motion to approve that on first reading?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve first reading ordinance 22-777, ordinance to adopt the annual budget property tax rate hike for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 through June the 30th of 2023.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? One discussion. Mr. City Manager, will we have this will be at the work session next month?
Yeah, this will also be at the work session for preparing for the public hearing, as well as preparing for the second reading. And just want to make a point that there is no property tax included in this.
That's right. That's
It's the
50%.
same.
There is no
It's the
property
same.
tax
Tax
hike.
increase.
I was going to say
No.
that. I'm glad you did.
There's no property tax hike.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of passing the annual budget and property tax rate on first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Number 6, public hearing on ordinance 22-773 to amend ordinance 21-758 the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget to reflect a lump sum payment to the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, TCRS, to fund the cost of living benefits for retirees, and those are city retirees. I open the public hearing for comments on this ordinance 22-773. Do I have any public comments? Deborah, do you have any comments? You're getting ready to retire. There being no public comments, I close the public hearing on ordinance 22-773. Number 7, second reading of ordinance 22-773 is to amend ordinance 21-758, the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget to reflect a lump sum payment to the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System to fund the cost of living benefits for retirees. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion. We approve this second reading of ordinance 22-773.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Mr. City Manager, you want to comment on that?
This is a process we have been going through for some months here to add the cost of living benefit for retirees so that they will be eligible for any cost of living that is issued by the state for the TCRS retirement program. The city of Millersville had not been in this program before until now, and going forward, any of the retirees, any current retirees will be eligible for those cost of living allowance increases as they go on throughout the years. Those increases are normally voted on by the legislature around the July 1st, for effective date July 1st.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, call for a vote. All those in favor of passing on second reading ordinance 22-773, vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? And the vote is unanimous. Number 8, public hearing on ordinance 22-774, which is to amend ordinance 21-758, the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget to reflect the actual revenue and expenses related to the 2022 general obligation bond and the American Rescue Plan Relief and Recovery Funds. Open for public hearing for comments on ordinance 22-774. Are there anybody that wishes to comment? There being none, I will close public hearing on ordinance 22-774. Next item is number 9, the second reading of ordinance 22-774, which is to amend ordinance 21-758, which is the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget to reflect the actual revenue and expenses related to the 2022 general obligation bond and the American Rescue Plan Relief and Recovery Funds. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I
the
make a
second
motion.
reading?
We'll go ahead and approve second reading ordinance 22-774.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussions? And Mr. City Manager, if you could elaborate on that?
Yes, on the general obligation bond, the city had gone out and issued bonds for $2.7 million for street paving, and that bond has been completed, and all the paperwork is closed on that. So that will be moved over into the budget, as well as the American Rescue Plan Relief Recovery Funds of $2.0 million that the city will receive from the American Rescue Plan Relief, and those funds will be used for numerous projects to include things like stormwater programs, providing funds for rehabbing the fire hall and other projects that we have, but we have a lot of it's for the stormwater improvements. Currently, we have a project going on Williamson Road. Many of you may have seen it. It's for the stormwater stream bank stabilization. And we've got at least $500,000 tied up in that program. So this allows us to put that money into the budget and expend those funds.
And these are federal funds that came from the
Yeah.
COVID Act.
That's the federal funds, yes.
Any other discussion? Okay, call for a vote. All those in favor of second reading of ordinance 22-774, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously. All right, number 10, public hearing on ordinance 22-775, which is to rezone 2055 Wilson Lane, specifically identified as Sumner County Map 118, parcel 2.01, and Robertson County Map 125, parcels 224 and 225, from rural residential to heavy commercial for the purposes of obtaining a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental development. Open for public hearing. Anybody that wishes to speak, step to the podium. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Do I have anybody that wishes to speak?
We need those people to sign in with their address, please.
You need to sign in your name, address.
So that we can get this recorded, if you'll speak into the microphone, please.
Hi, Bridget Augustino. I live at 2044 Wilson Lane. I strongly object to the rezoning of this property, first and foremost because the road is wholly insufficient. It's a one-lane road that dead ends to a private property. There's no turnaround. There are families with young children living right there on the curve. There's no easements to purchase by the developer. They either have to buy an easement from White House Utility District, and over there on the side, that is where the new response tower is, to be able to widen the road. They certainly couldn't do it on my side of the property because there is a drainage from the water towers, as well as big giant trees right there that are not going to come down off my property. They camouflage the water towers. So I would like to know what the developer has to say about the investment that they're willing to make in that road, which is going to be a long-term thing. Also, the need for a habitat survey. Tennessee Department of Environmental Concern has been involved, as well as Ray Zimmerman of Hellbender magazine, and they'll have put in a request to the state for a habitat study before anything can move forward from this. So.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wish to speak? If you can sign in with name and address, please.
The pen is quit writing.
Here, can you?
Somebody pass it down. Okay, never mind. He's not right. He's not using his pen.
Well, my name's Billy Pegram, and I own next to the property that's trying to be rezoned. And, I as well agree with Rich about the, traffic on the road. Because as, right now, when two cars try to pass, somebody has to get off into the grass or almost the ditch, because it's only 12-foot wide of pavement. So this would create a big problem unless the road is addressed. And also, me being the one that this is gonna be kinda in my front right-hand part of my house, I strongly oppose of it. Unless there's gonna be a big buffer put up that I can't hear or see any of it. And, for one thing, I'd like to see more of a drawing as to what it's gonna be, some money put into what it's going to be. I've never seen any city approve something that has no money put into something as a drawing, a civil type drawing or something, anyway. And, so, I mean, just showing some kind of, this is gonna be this is gonna be that, and approving something, I've never even seen anything like that done. So that kind of concerns me. And then here about 2 weeks ago on Smoky Barn News, there was a big house with a swimming pool in Robertson County that was on the news about a shooting and a big party that went on that was trouble. And it hit the news. And so with this being what it is, I have concern about it coming over on my property, which will be trouble. I can't see anything positive coming out of this for your city. I don't see that it's gonna bring anything good for your city.
30 seconds.
So that's what I have to say about it. I just can't see that a campsite being good for the city. Tennessee has all kinds of places to go that is state. And, so anyway, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And is there a drawing? that
3
you can
minutes
see?
are up, sir.
Is there a drawing?
Your 3 minutes are up, sir.
Can you answer my question?
No, sir.
Hi, I'm Lenny Barber. I live on the other side of Bethel Road. I live at 200 Deepwood Drive. And I just wanted to make an opinion. I lived in East Nashville for 41 years, and I saw what Airbnbs did to the neighborhood. That's why I'm in Millersville. Unless you have somebody who's got very strict contracts with threat of eviction with no refund, time set, nothing after 5 in the front yard, nothing after 10 in the backyard, blah, 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 you're going to have a catastrophe like you have on the other side of Cycle Drive. And a friend of ours lives on Cycle Drive, and that whatever you call it with the hill and the trunks and everything is constantly on Cycle Drive. It's only this wide. That Cycle Drive and Wilson Lane are not built for constant transportation, constant movement. Besides that, those partiers are going to scare the deer. We're going to have more fresh meat on the road. And can you answer his question, is there a drawing? It's my question.
This is citizens' comments, no ma'am.
Okay.
This is y'all's opportunity to speak to us. If you have, and I really don't even like to tell you this, because I'm sitting here trying to hear what y'all have to say, and what I have to say is irrelevant to the importance of what you have to say.
Okay.
But if you do have questions about drawings, talk to Andrew, which is right behind you in the yellow shirt after the meeting, and he can answer those questions, and it'll be helpful for you.
Okay, but that's what I've got to say. I've seen Airbnbs destroy peace and serenity.
Thank you.
I'm Brett Ferguson, and I live at right across the street. I'm at 2048 Wilson Lane. I agree with them as well as far as the road goes. I mean, typically, if I'm going down the road and somebody else is coming down, I have to back out all the way because I'm not going to pull my car in the ditch. As well as I am the one on the corner with an 8-month-old child. I don't feel like the how it's going to be represented would be well with all the unknown foot traffic that would be going through in and out. I just feel it's a big safety concern.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Amy Ford. I moved to Quellwood Estates on Glenwood Drive a couple years ago. We moved from Old Hickory, which also has a lot of Airbnbs and stuff like that as well. I've had several break-ins to my storage building outside, as well as my cars. I just wanted to speak, agree with everybody else. I'm strongly against this. I don't think it's good for our area, and I just think that this kind of property is not a good thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak on ordinance 22-775, the rezone of 2055 Wilson Lane? Okay. If there's nobody else that wishes to speak, we will close the public hearing on ordinance 22-775. Item number 11 is the second reading of ordinance 22-775, which is to rezone 2055 Wilson Lane, specifically identified as Sumner County Map 118, parcel 2.01, and Robertson County Map 125, parcels 224 and 225, from rural residential to heavy commercial for the purpose of obtaining a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental development. Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a motion?
After hearing the citizens speak in front of us tonight, I make a motion that we do not accept the second reading of ordinance 22-775.
Well, you really don't have to make a motion. You can just let this die without a motion.
Well, I just wanted them to know, because after hearing from the people, that's what I want to do.
Is there anybody that wants to make motions for discussions to occur? Or do you just?
Well, you can ask for a second, then have discussion.
The motion before the board is approval. Under Robert's Rules of Order, you're basically amending the second reading because it was approved on first reading already.
It was.
Okay, it being approved on first reading, you're amending this agenda, which at the very outset, we accepted the agenda as is. So the motion that would have to be heard is a motion to approve it. If you're not wanting it to approve,
Okay.
then just don't make a motion, please. Is there anybody that wants, there being no motion, it dies for lack of a motion.
Could be, yes. Lack of a second.
Well, it's lack of a motion. Because the motion that was before the chair was a motion that contradicts the first reading, and therefore the chair can't recognize that motion. It dies for lack of a motion. So you can tell the people here that it's no longer being considered by the city. Okay, the next item is number 12, public hearing on ordinance 22776 to rezone 1065 Woody Lane, specifically identified as Sumner County Map 118, parcels 109, 110, 110.01, 182, and 183, from heavy commercial to multifamily residential. Open for public hearing on ordinance 22-776. Do I have anybody that'd like to speak to that? Closed public hearing on ordinance 22-776. Second reading of ordinance 22-776 to rezone 1065 Woody Lane, specifically identified as Sumner County Map 118, parcels 109, 110, 110.01, 182, and 183 from heavy commercial to multifamily residential. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve second reading of ordinance 22-776 to rezone 1065 Woody Lane, specifically identified as Sumner County map 118, parcels 109, 110, 110.01, 182, 183 from heavy commercial to multifamily residential.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Gregory, Commissioner Gregory, Vice Mayor Gregory seconded it. Do I have any discussion?
Yeah, this is just bringing them into compliance with the zoning that's already there, right?
That is correct.
So if they want another canister home, as I call it, they'll have to come before the planning board and go through the rituals that they're supposed to meet, right?
Yeah, this is one of those issues that I think that need to be addressed. This home is not considered a mobile home pursuant to the Tennessee Code, and we may want to check with the city attorney. And as such, a lot of the restrictions that are currently in place in Millersville for mobile homes may not apply to these canister homes. So that may be something that we might want to put on the study session to look at, and the planning commission to look at. So,
But I definitely don't want any more homes like that
No.
put in, the city.
Well, see, what happened was when his house burnt down was out of compliance, he rebuilt back out of compliance because his grandfather in, there wasn't nothing there. So changing this to where we're changing it to brings it back to compliance with the city. And I agree with what you said. I don't want no more of those homes up there either. So we're going to discuss it on work session according to our mayor. And that would solve that. Thank you. Thank you.
Planning commission probably needs to.
Well, planning commission will have
thank
it,
you.
yeah.
Okay. There's a motion and second to approve on second reading ordinance 22-776. Call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously. Number 14, resolution 22-R-08 to authorize the city manager to dispose of the property that has been deemed surplus, out of service, seized, or abandoned. Do I hear a motion to accept this resolution 22-R-08?
Yeah, I make a motion to adopt the resolution 22-R-08.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Just want to say, Mr. Mayor, this should take care of the last remaining vehicles in the lot when these are sold or disposed of. They should all be gone, so.
Then what are you gonna do with the lot?
It's a good question. I think we find a reason for it.
All right, you have a motion and a second. I call for a vote. All those in favor of approving this resolution 22-R-08, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously. Number 15, resolution -22-R-09 to repeal and replace resolution 22-R-07 for the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA allocation, spend/allocation plan, which was attached to the agenda as Exhibit A. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
Make a motion to approve resolution 22-R-09.
Second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. There being no discussion, all those in favor of approving resolution 22-R-09, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, unanimously, and it passes. All right, number 16 is to review and approve the city finance director job description and to approve promotion of Holly Murphy to finance director and to hold dual role as finance director and city recorder effective July 1, 2022.
I make a motion to review and approve the city finance director job description and to approve promotion of Holly Murphy to finance director and to hold dual role as finance director and city recorder effective July the 1st, 2022.
Second.
Okay, y'all wanna, what is the review, Mr. Manager?
Pardon, say,
With the review, this is to review and approve.
yeah, we just need to have approval, just a vote of approval from the board.
Would this conflict with item number 18?
I believe, it depends on how the, if there's a motion, would have to,
I think there is a motion.
I think this
so, I just have to, I think it would, it could possibly, it would have to vacate one position to do the other. I think it's something I think our attorney could.
Attorney's already addressed it
I already
in
showed it,
executive session earlier this evening, and he may want to speak to it also, but that's why I bring up the issue of would it be a conflict? And,
Well, I think maybe if you just did a motion for the approval of the job description and the position, and then the placement or the filling of the position could be at a later date.
Well, we have this particular item specifically, and if the city attorney would like to jump in on this also, specifically talks about the promotion of Holly Murphy. And keep in mind that we approved at the very outset of this meeting, we approved the agenda as written with the one change as to April 17th to April 19th. So we're kind of stuck now with this agenda item.
Yeah,
Have you seen?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just now realized that there was a conflict.
From my perspective, I think, go ahead and vote on this the way it is on the agenda. If item 18 changes that, this is already done. It might change in a few minutes. Does that make sense?
Well, my concern is the same thing. If item 16 is voted on and approved, and if item 18 is voted on and Ms. Murphy is selected as interim city manager, and the motion that has been discussed earlier is passed also, I mean, and it's a lot of what ifs, it will conflict with item 16. Is that the way you see it also? If you'll remember the motion that Commissioner Template.
Do you want to look at it?
No, I know what we're talking about. What, do y'all want to pass on that until you come to 18 and you can revisit 16 later?
Yeah, probably the
That-
best thing.
that would
Let's
make more
pass-
sense.
Pass on that one.
yeah. Do I hear a motion to pass this to the end of the agenda?
Do you want me to make a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pass number 16 to review and approve the city finance director job description and to approve promotion of Holly Murphy to finance director and to hold dual role as finance director and city recorder effective July 1st, 2022 until after we've done number 18.
Let's say after
The appointment of the interim.
after item 18.
Yeah, after item 18.
Second. Motion made and second to pass item 16 to be considered after item 18. Any discussion? Any other discussion? Vice Mayor Gregory?
No.
Commissioner Dipley?
No, sir.
Okay. All those in favor of this, approving this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. We move on to item number 17 then. Review and renew agreement with Thierry Company, Inc. Do I hear a motion to review and renew?
Yeah, I'll
the
make
agreement?
the motion, Mr. Mayor, to approve the review and the renew agreement with Prairie Company.
I'll
INC.
second.
Okay, any discussions?
Mm-mm.
Mr. Manager, you want to elaborate on this a little bit? We do have a new contract with them.
Yes, this contract will go in effect July 1st, as did his past contracts. There were some questions on the ownership of the company, and after discussing this with the Pieri Companies, Inc., the president is Andrew Pieri, and he is authorized to sign as the president. This is part of the process that we've been talking about for some months now, of trying to putting together our building inspection and codes department. And Mr. Pieri will, as states in this contract, he will be consulting and also acting as building official and overseeing the planning and planner that we've hired as well, starting July 1st. So this is a one-year contract that will slowly, I would think, get us into better shape as a department, with that's going to have a tremendous amount of work with inspections and permits and planning and zoning with all the building up on Bethel Road, Bethel Farms, Bethel Ridge, as well as the rentals situation here next door. So I think this is going to move us into a better position to get all that work done and have those permits properly sought about. So I think this is a good process for us to go through.
Just let everybody know, this contract will not exceed $65,000 a year for his pay, and his expenses for his fuel or eating, whatever it might be, will not exceed $2,500 just for the year.
We have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of reviewing the agreement with Pieri Company, Inc. after this review, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next item is number 18, appointment of the interim city manager. On this one, we will be receiving nominations for the appointment of the interim city manager. Do I hear any nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Holly Murphy. I'd also like to make a motion to appoint the current recorder, Holly Murphy, to interim city manager for a short period of time, but until a city manager is recruited and hired, upon the stipulation that Holly step aside temporarily and appoint an interim city recorder, which should be our current assistant city recorder. Further, upon the placement of the newly hired city manager, then Holly will step into the promotion of the finance director and resume as city recorder. The compensation would continue for each person except for Holly Murphy. Holly would be increased to $20 more an hour. During this time, the interim city recorder would be increased by $10 per hour during this time. And Amy, I wrote that down for you.
Second. Okay, we have Ms. Murphy nominated, and we have a motion with that. Do we have any other nominations? There being no other nominations, I'm going to nominate Frank Fox for consideration as interim city manager. Okay. Are there any other nominations? On this, we're going to do basically a sort of a roll call vote. I'm going to call your name, and you either say Holly Murphy or Frank Fox, and that will be your vote. That's good enough. Okay, and we'll start with the newest member of our group, Mr. Commissioner Atwood. How do you vote?
Holly Murphy.
Okay, Commissioner Long, how do you vote?
Frank Fox.
Okay. The chair votes for Frank Fox.
Holly Murphy.
David, Vice Mayor Gregory votes for Holly Murphy, and Commissioner Templin.
Holly Murphy.
Okay. Holly Murphy wins 3 votes to 2 votes. And now Ms. Templin's motion comes into effect. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And I asked the city manager once again, how does that affect number 16? The way it was approved. We have a motion on the floor that Ms. Templin brought in regards to the appointment of the interim city manager. Did I receive a second on that?
David.
I did.
Okay. Do we have any discussions? Okay. There being no discussions, do we want to approve that motion that Ms. Templin made? Or Commissioner Templin, I'm sorry. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Ms. Murphy will be sitting as the, if I can borrow that, as the interim. Ms. Murphy will be sitting as the interim city manager for a short period of time until a city manager is recruited and hired. The stipulation is that Ms. Murphy will step aside temporarily and appoint an interim city recorder, which should be a current assistant city recorder, and further that upon the placement of the newly hired city manager, Ms. Murphy will step into the promotion as outlined at item number 16. Will step into the promotion of finance director and resume as city recorder. Compensation will continue for each person as is, with the exception that Ms. Murphy, her compensation will be increased to $20 per hour at this time, during this period of time. And the interim city recorder will have an increase in their salary of $10 per hour at this time. Ms. Murphy currently makes $35.48 per hour. This $20 per hour will put her at $55.48 per hour, which is actually more than what the,
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought I had that right. I don't.
I'm looking
you
at it
sure?
right here. It'll be going from $35.48 to $55.48. The current city manager, should he have taken his proposed hourly promotion, if he had stayed here, would have only been $52.90.
Oh, well. 52.90.
Well, no, we've already passed the motion and voted on it.
Well,
You need to, if you need to change it, we'll need to do that at our next
Okay.
meeting.
Next meeting, we'll look at it, work
okay.
Okay. Going back to item number 16, review and approve the city finance director job description and to approve promotion of Holly Murphy to finance director and to hold dual role as finance director and city recorder effective July 1st, 2022. Per the motion that has already passed, I would suggest that somebody make a motion to pass this particular item to the June agenda, or to table it until further notice. So I'll leave that up to the board.
I'll make a motion, we'll table this until we get a new city manager.
Okay. Do I hear aye?
Second.
Motion to table it. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussions? Okay. All those in favor of tabling item number 16, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? It passes unanimous. All right, number 19, citizens' comments. If anybody would like to speak as to any item on or off the agenda, please come forward, write your name down and speak, and you will be given 3 minutes to speak. We've done a lot tonight. I'm sure there's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Y'all did a good job tonight.
No.
Well, thank you.
All right. There being no citizens' comment, I close citizens' comments. City manager's comments, who will be leaving us here after tomorrow. And as I said on many occasions, good riddance, but all in jest. Comments?
Just a couple of things, Mayor. Since I put the agenda out, we have met with a couple of prospective property appraisers off of the approved TDOT list. And both of them have given us a quote, and we'll be reviewing those with OHM. But they both look like very good quotes, but we'll be selecting one of those very soon, and we'll start to have put that in motion. So I would suggest that you all put that on the work session so that you can select one of these folks and then move forward to getting that property appraised and let them start doing their work. Here again, I'll say this, time is of the essence on the sidewalk grant, and everybody just needs to stay on top of that and keep that going. I don't know if anybody here lives on Langbray or Slaters Creek Access Road. but you can see there's a lot of black tar going on the roads out there, and Langbrae looks really good. I don't know, how about Slaters Creek? It's looking good. So our work is in progress, and the city is working for the citizens to put some asphalt on these streets. Let me just say that my time here has been very enjoyable. As most of you know, I love this kind of work. I can't say enough about the support that the employees and the citizens have given me while I've been here, and especially this board has supported me 110%, and I do appreciate it. And this is not goodbye, it's just so long for a little while. And I hope to see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your time here, your short time here. And I guess I'll see you around soon.
You'll see me. You'll see me. You'll see me.
And all the times he cut my grass.
And all the times you had the flat tires that parked in your driveway.
Yeah.
If you see me out cutting Tommy Long's grass, please stop and give me a drink of water. I had a flat tire in Tommy's front yard. He didn't even come out to see me. He claims he wasn't home.
That yellow truck was
I was like, you can't miss the yellow truck.
Okay, commissioners' comments, any comments? Commissioner Atwood?
None.
You sure? Commissioner Long?
Yeah, I've got a comment. We have people in the city that serves on the boards, the planning board, the BZA board, the beer board, and I think it would be nice to show those people our appreciation, that when the city has a function for the employees, that they be extended an invitation to let them come to the meetings, come to the celebrations, because they spend a lot of time. I was here last Monday night, I guess it was, and or Tuesday night, and they were here. They had like a 2-hour training session, and they really take a lot of interest in the roles that they play in the city. And I think the least that we can do is to extend them an invitation anytime there's a city function for the employees. I think they deserve it. I think they deserve it.
I agree, and also, if any citizens would like to join one of our boards, the beer board, and you do not get free beer. But the beer board is needing two people to sit on it and to help us make decisions. The last time we met was this afternoon at 5 p.m., and the time before that was on May the 18th, 2021. So it doesn't take a whole lot of your time. So we would appreciate just asking Amy or Deborah right there in the front with a smile as she walks out the door if you would be interested in being on the beer board or any other board. Oh, Mr. Gregory.
Yeah, it's good to be here this evening. Everything went well, and I give God honor and glory for that. And I thank Steve for being here and for helping us, guiding us. And I feel like he brought our city up to a more excellence than I've seen over the last several years I've been here, and I've seen the board grow. And I appreciate the commissioners that brought us up this far. It's sitting at home now, not here, but the rest of the commissioners are here, and we're looking for future commissioners. So that's the reason we got Lincoln up here. We're looking for younger people to take my place, and I'll just say me. But it's good that he was here, and I appreciate what he done. And the instruction, it was the easiest budget I ever sat through. I think we was down here for about 6 hours, and it was well written. Holly and Steve wrote a well written budget for our new year, and it was great. And I think y'all would appreciate it. It was great. It was great. I've had worse than that. We've been here. We have sat as long as 8 or 9 hours.
And according to Deborah, I spent all the money. So.
Well, that figures, but I appreciate you, Steve, and thank you. And the door's open. You ever want to come back here?
All right, you heard that.
If you change your mind.
Yeah, it's on
That
record.
went on record.
Okay, Commissioner Template, any comments?
I just thank you, Steve. I appreciate you. You're missed. I'm hoping we see you around. But I appreciate you.
Yes. Very well said.
There being no other comments, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.